Quite a very evening to you, our dear viewer. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango, and in sign language I'm joined by Mohammed Mogalu there. But first though, let's look at the top stories. In our top stories tonight, the National Commission for UNESCO in Uganda marks 60 years of existence. And with the Refugee Board, Minister Onek inaugurates new Refugee Appeals Board. Our Soroti RSCC dismisses recent allegations of 12 deaths. And lastly, Sweet Science boxing event to take place on September 30th, 2023. Thank you so much once again for keeping it with UBC and News Tonight in particular. Now into the news, President Yoweri Museveni has received Dr. Ismail Diaouri, envoy from Burkina Faso at State House Entebbe. The president and his visitor discussed matters of mutual interest between the two nations. Let's hear more in this report. Well, we will be bringing the details of that particular story in our subsequent bulletin. Now, moving ahead, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has assured the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, to reform the old white-collar education curriculum with vocational training emphasis in order to bridge skill gap and reduce on the rate of unemployment in the country. President Museveni was represented by the third Deputy Prime Minister, Lukia Nakadama, at the 60th anniversary celebrations of the National Commission for UNESCO in the country.
Not the best schools, but one thing I know.
The Ugandan National Commission for UNESCO, UNATCOM, has marked 60 years since its establishment, with the objective of ensuring implementation of the UNESCO activities of promoting culture, education and sciences in Uganda.
We boast of community multimedia centers that were established in 1997. These facilitate communication and access to information and learning resources in rural areas. In Uganda here, ladies and gentlemen, we have Buwama, we have Nakaseke, we have Kachwekano, we have Kagadi, we have Mora, and we have Naweru. And these are functioning, and they have been able to cause learning, especially during the time of COVID. Learners would go to the library. We are aware that our work is not done. But the last 60 years and our predecessors have taught us a lot. And the legacy of our first 60 years inspire our next 60 years.
In the 60 years, UNATCOM has significantly supported Uganda's education system. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was represented by the third Deputy Prime Minister, Lukia Nakadama, at this function. He commended UNESCO's presence in Uganda and ensured peace and stability.
Opportunity to reflect on the achievements of UNATCOM in Uganda over the last 60 years.
President Museveni also commits to reform the education curriculum of promoting job creators than those seeking for white-collar employment.
Intensify efforts to restructure the educational curriculum with a view to produce responsible citizens. 2 was to restore educational facilities, especially in areas where they were destroyed by war. 3 was to expand facilities for technical and commercial education in order to provide the required manpower for development. And 4 was to lay the foundation for the provision of adequate educational opportunities to the growing population.
Education being the third pillar of this international organization, the Ministry of Education and Sports commends guidance of UNESCO, which has put Uganda among the rich academia countries on the continent.
The Ministry of Education and Sports is committed to ensuring that the Uganda National Commission for UNESCO is supported in its work of liaison, coordination, consultation, information and mobilizing national partners, including the civil society, with the substantial contribution in advancement of UNESCO's objectives in the implementation of its program in Uganda.
By marking 60 years of UNESCO's existence in Uganda, the body is strategizing on improving the education system to produce young entrepreneurs as per the demand of the global job market.
Learning to be, what does it mean? You must really emphasize self-confidence, who you are. Culture is the most important. Learning to be, who are you? We may be different cultures, but we need to have harmony within the diversity.
UNATCOM calls for more investment by the government and other collaborating partners to enable the Commission expand its intellectual workforce and activities to autonomous structure. Abdu Nasir Lobwama for UBC.
Well, and in our next story, we look at the members of parliament representing the regions of Kampala, capital city. They have teamed up to add a common voice to the solution of floods and poor drainage affecting the capital city. The MPs addressed a press conference in parliament after floods had hit hard the business community in Kampala. The legislators believe that the poor status of drainage channels in #1 caused the flooding. Hence, urge a government to consider increasing the budget allocation to KCCA to enable it to resolve this issue.
Of recent, floods triggered by heavy rains have consumed part of the time of the business community and residents after many were left helpless. Despite being a recurrent situation whenever heavy rains attack the capital city, several interventions by the relevant stakeholders have since proved futile.
So unless we address the issue of garbage management, we are still going to have floods in the city. And the city will be filthy, will be dirty, because as we speak now, it's one of the dirtiest cities in the world. So we must wake up.
Members of Parliament representing the regions of Kampala, capital city, have through a press conference at Parliament agreed on a voice to call for solutions.
Most of the waterways in Kampala have been encroached on by investors. And that's the reason that we have floods. The greatest enemy of a road is water. In the World Bank report of 2008, we lose over $100 million every year because of floods.
Despite questioning the current budget allocations for the road fund, the legislators propose an increment in the budget of KCCA to optimize the drainage and road sector in the capital city.
As we are speaking right now, we are closing the first quarter of the current financial year, but Kampala has not received anything as far as construction of roads and drainages is concerned. So we call upon this government to wake up. Let us do our work. Let the executive put the Minister of Finance to task that Kampala is the capital of this country. Indeed, the people of Kampala need to be served better because they are the highest payers of tax.
This comes at a time when KCCA is in advanced stages of implementing a 10-year master plan to improve the road and drainage of Kampala and its metropolitan areas.
I just want to see the place fixed. I know for sure that if there is any discussion about monies and that is our internal thing. That's in-house. That is between us, Minister of Works, between UNRWA, between ENAGO, and between the Minister of Finance. That is our in-house thing. But the members of the traveling public want a smooth road. That's all they want.
That's why we are putting an ultimatum. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks. We want some action to be done.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Bitabinji, UBC News.
Now, the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni, has urged the Governing Council of Mbarara University of Science and Technology to put in place measures to raise upright citizens who value their culture and are not tolerant to vices like drug abuse, homosexuality, corruption and immorality, among others.
The First Lady noted that the world is dealing with a generation of youth who are challenged by various situations and many unacceptable vices. She noted that this can no longer be ignored among the youth at the various universities in our country. She added that students should not just graduate with academic qualifications alone, because the world requires people of integrity more than ever before.
Through a concerted effort, we can produce graduates worthy of our country's future.
The First Lady said this while presiding over the inauguration of the 8th Council of Mbarara University of Science and Technology, which she hosted at State House, Nakasero. The 26-member council, which assumed office on the 1st of July 2023 for a period of 4 years, is chaired by Dr. Warren Namara, while Ms. Sarah Nchwako is the vice chairperson. The First Lady congratulated the council members and reminded them that the main mission of the university is to produce a skilled and productive workforce for national development. She said that it is an obligation not just to enroll students, but also mentor and graduate them.
All of us must dedicate ourselves to helping students to overcome the obstacles that stand between them and success. Each of us has a duty and responsibility to ensure that as students graduate, our university thrive and our nation has a skilled, productive, and responsible workforce.
Mrs. Museveni appreciated the university management, led by the Vice-Chancellor Professor Celestine Obua, for ably managing the university and implementing council decisions, which she said has resulted in the university's growth and steady advancement, making it one of the best universities in Uganda.
I have no doubt in my mind that the caliber of leaders on this council will rise to the occasion, and through their efforts, the university will experience significant growth and development. I pray for God's blessings and guidance as you carry out your responsibilities as members of the 8th Council of Mbarara University of Science and Technology.
In his remarks, the chairperson Master Council, Dr. Warren Namara, said that in order to achieve the vision of a center of academic and professional excellence in science and technology, they are geared towards learner-centered problem-solving instruction, being a research-driven university, and enhancing knowledge transfer partnerships and networking. He highlighted some of the challenges that hinder critical operations of the university. These include the potential risk of closure of the medical school, which was condemned by the Uganda Medical and Dental Practitioners Council for lacking requisite infrastructure, equipment and staffing, the inability of the university to occupy the faculty of computing. The Vice-Chancellor Mas, Professor Celestine, thanked government for the support to Mbarara University since establishment in 1989 to date, when it is celebrating 34 years.
We thank you for the support of the university. We can sit here, cry, say, well, this and that, but we have never forgotten the support of the university from you and from the president. Once again, thank you for availing the council the opportunity to have this important meeting and the inauguration.
The inauguration ceremony was also attended, among others, by senior technical officers from the Ministry of Education and Sports. These included Dr. Jenegao, the Undersecretary and Director of Higher Technical Vocational Education and Training, Ismail Mulindwa, the Director, Basic and Secondary Education.
I now declare the 8th Council of Mbarara University of Science and Technology fully inaugurated, and I thank you and God bless you.
Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
Now, government may consider sheltering refugees in collective settlements to reserve more land for farming. This follows reduction of food supply to refugees by the World Food Programme, something reportedly breeding criminality amongst some refugees living within the country. Minister for Relief, Disaster Preparedness and Refugees, Engineer Hilary Onek, expressed this while inaugurating the new Refugee Appeals Board at the office of the Prime Minister.
How did aid cut to refugee management in Uganda come about?
The refugees we are hosting here can only have 1 meal a day.
Why is the situation not being given much needed priority by responsible international agencies?
The priority is elsewhere. Africans are handled last.
These are some of the questions that Engineer Hilary Onek poses and answers at the same time.
Managing refugees is becoming difficult because they don't have food, so they are forced into criminality. This is a scenario now. You, the new board who is coming, you better get to know this. This is a scenario you are coming in. Thank you very much.
Similar concerns have been extended to the new Refugee Appeals Board.
These are your tools.
It has been inaugurated on Friday afternoon, ending 9 months of waiting. The new board is led by Charles Wadenya as board chairperson.
Because these people who are coming from our neighboring countries, these are people who are related to us. So we cannot just say, okay, we abandon or ban them from coming to our country. It's not feasible. So we have to think innovatively and maybe cause them to settle collectively into a smaller place. And most of the land where they're occupying now can be turned into large farmland in order for them to produce food for themselves.
The more this continues, the more the calls for tolerance amongst leaders. This is the appeal by Minister Onek to refugee-generating countries.
Anybody who comes with a different view, then you look at them as enemies, and then they unconsciously, subconsciously, they respond negatively to any form of criticism. And yet criticism is a very, very good tool to at least evaluate yourself. Somebody criticizes your weakness. That person is helping you to understand where you have gone wrong. And you use that to re-examine yourself and do things better.
Uganda's policy on refugees remains open door, to which the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, is appreciative.
They are leaving from camps to settlement. You have set the record, you have set the bar very high. They are still striving to understand what is a settlement. And this is something Uganda should pride herself in.
Below you, RAB, there is the Refugee Eligibility Committee, which is the first instance tribunal that handles asylum applications. And once they refuse or reject these applications, those applicants can appeal to you as the higher appellant body.
The new Refugee Appeals Board is made up of 5 members, including Charles Wadenya as chairperson and Animu Angupale as vice chairperson. The others are Rosemary Tutajerize, Wilberforce Ngonde, and Beatrice Rachmari as members. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Well, thank you very much there, Henry Okrut. Now moving into the African peer review, a 5-man team of experts from the Continental Secretariat of the African Peer Review Mechanism of the African Union is in Uganda to assess Uganda's impact, progress and challenges under the mechanism for the last 20 years. The team, led by Professor Jean-Yves Odoh, has held a technical meeting with APRM Uganda officials and National Planning Authority members at the National Planning Authority head office in Kampala and briefed them on the new guidelines which will be followed in this year's assessment.
Corruption, gender inequality, youth unemployment, ethnic and cultural diversity management are some of the cross-cutting challenges among the African member states that subscribe to the African Peer Review Mechanism arrangement of the African Union. After 20 years since the African Union set up mechanism in 2003 to assess the internal democracy and good governance among member states, a 5-man team from Continental Secretariat in South Africa has held a technical meeting with Ugandan officials at the National Planning Authority head office.
I think that we commend Uganda for their commitment, for willingness to work with us to do this study. And we are very happy to be with you.
The study is taking place in 20 countries, and Uganda is one of the 20 countries. It is the reason why the mission is here. The mission includes representatives of the APRM Continental Secretariat.
National Planning Authority as a key stakeholder in the APRM process. To be associated with the study.
Mr. Peter Kimimia from Kenya is the Continental Lead Consultant of the assessment, while Mr. Gerard Tuijuke is the Uganda Country Consultant. Though 43 member states in Africa subscribe to this mechanism, only 26 have accepted to be subjected to the annual performance reviews. The assessment comes at a time when Uganda is scheduled to host the African Peer Review Mechanism meeting at Speak Resort Munyonyo in December this year.
Now, in the case of the APRM.
Now, looking at youth, the youth have challenged to reorganize themselves and consider working together if they are to equitably participate in the political landscape of this country. The Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development, Betty Among, points at the existing structures within the leadership ladder as a great platform through which the youth, if organized, can use to cause transformative leadership in this country. This, she was speaking at events to mark the International Day of Democracy that coincides with the graduation ceremony for youth leaders who have been undergoing a leadership training at the Uganda Democracy Academy. Well, we will Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu has called for peace and unity amongst the people of the Rwenzori region. Archbishop Kazimba, who is on his pastoral visit to Kasese, stressed the need for the people to remain united and observe peace for each other at all times.
District, which he attributed to early school dropouts of girls for different reasons.
They take their children at school. They ensure, because I've seen a number of children who are children mothers, kids, but with kids. And which means that the issue of early pregnancy is really still there. We should fight it.
The Archbishop, who commissioned various church projects within the South Rwenzori Diocese, noted that some health centers were understaffed, which puts the lives of people at risk.
Doctors and nurses sent by the government, they are there on the secondment of the government, which is very good. Only that I have been saddened to hear that the government is withdrawing the doctors from that place and the nurses and midwives because of the policy, which I definitely do not have a problem with the policy, but there should be some special considerations of some places. Like this one, I was also shocked to hear that the next hospital from that place, it is 60 kilometers.
The Bishop of South Rwenzori Diocese, Mason Baruku, thanked His Grace for the love he has shown to the people of Kasese.
All have thanked him for his parental consideration of moving to the hard-to-reach areas. The more he goes to the hard-to-reach areas, the more prayers he has to offer for us. So I'm excited as the Bishop, and I still say that Your Grace, we still have other areas where you'll be able to visit, and when you go back to Kampala, to your secretariat, then remember to pray for us.
Uganda is set to host the annual civil society organization WASH Forum with the aim of shedding light on the nation's progress towards achieving Sustainable Development Goal 6 of the universal access to clean water, sanitation and environmental conservation. The upcoming annual CSO WASH Forum, scheduled to take place on from the 4th to the 6th of October 2023, serves as a platform for stakeholders to engage in a dialogue and a concerted action.
The Executive Director, Uganda Water and Sanitation, Yunia Musazi, says they have decided to dedicate this annual forum to government ahead of the attainment of the social development goal of access to clean water. Musazi says recognizing access to clean water and sanitation is essential for the well-being and dignity of all people.
The percentage increase for water and sanitation for the last couple of years, for either water or sanitation has not increased by, it's an average of around 3 or 2% increment. And this is mainly to the low budgets that are being allocated by government, in spite of us as CSOs. On average, we make an investment of around an average of 70 to 90 billion in this sector, we as CSOs. In spite of that investment and also what government puts in, you still find that the percentage increase is almost at around 1 or 2% every year.
Uganda, like many nations, has made significant strides in this direction, but challenges persist and much work remains to be done.
An initiative like this is proof that it's quite important to collaborate between government and CSOs and development partners, but also be coordinated as we're implementing.
Key questions that will be addressed during the forum include the state of clean water and sanitation accessibility in Uganda, innovative solutions to overcome existing challenges, the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on water, sanitation and hygiene efforts, and the role of various stakeholders in achieving the social development goal number 6.
And in Uganda especially, it is also a commitment, we believe, of our government through various visions, plans and national development targets that we should be economically comfortable and healthy, a healthy population, and that we know cannot happen without safe water and sanitation.
The annual civil society organization WASH Forum promises to be a dynamic platform for knowledge sharing, networking, and fostering collaboration among those dedicated to improving the lives of Ugandans through better access to clean water and sanitation while preserving the environment.
Sanitation and sewerage connection stands at 6%. Then maybe when you go to national water, they will tell you 10%. And of course with the deteriorating water quality aspects. Then when we look at safely managed sanitation, that one stands at 66%. Meaning safely managed sanitation, you record the sanitation that reaches the end point.
This year's forum will not only celebrate past achievements, but also chart a clear path forward towards a future where every person in Uganda can enjoy the benefits of clean water, proper sanitation, and a healthier environment. The theme of this year's forum underscores the importance of collaboration, jointly achieving social development goal number 6, clean water, sanitation, and environmental conservation. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Well, let's take a short break and return with more.
Water, please. Can I pay with Momo?
No.
Ha. Hey, can I pay with Momo? Ha.
Here's our merchant code.
Oh, very good.
7 mega?
20. Can I pay with Momo?
Unfortunately, no.
Ha. Baby, let's go.
When paying with MTN Momo comes with more benefits for everyone, it just doesn't make sense not to have it.
Hello, I've come for rent.
Can I pay with Momo? Ha.
Yes, you can.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
In this family, we can't agree on anything.
Martha.
We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play.
Martha.
Mulabi, we can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
Tata and Mama Sarah.
Wanji?
We did all we could. Naye we couldn't save her. I'm sorry. You brought her in very late. Malaria destroyed her organs and reduced her blood levels. She was anemic. You know how dangerous malaria is. I am sorry, but malaria has killed your daughter.
Malaria kills more people in Uganda than any other disease. Protect your loved ones from this enemy. Ensure everyone in your family sleeps under a mosquito net every night, whether it's a cold or hot season, to protect them from malaria. In the event that any of your family members shows malaria signs and symptoms, take them to the nearest health center immediately to prevent complications from malaria that could result into death. Together, we can chase malaria out of Uganda. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from Global Fund.
It's Freaky
Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or gift.
Get freaky too! Dial *100*0# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100*0#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100*0# to get started.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Uganda is a source, transit, and destination for adults and children who are either forced or deceived into forced labor, organ harvest, sacrifice, and commercial exploitation. Trafficking in persons is a serious crime and gross violation of human rights. Report suspects of trafficking in persons to police for investigation and prosecution. Suspects are either close friends or relatives. Victims of trafficking are not criminals and need protection. This message is brought to you by the Coordination Office for Prevention of Trafficking in Persons, Ministry of Internal Affairs.
I wish you maintain that same effort to protect you and your family from that very dangerous ship that attacks you every night. And if you don't take action soon, it may cost your life or even your pregnant wife to lose her baby.
Wapi, with all these original padlocks and my maguja, no thief can make an attempt to break it.
Simon, you and your wife are always in and out of the hospital almost every month. And there is that dangerous thief that you are not yet safe from. You're lucky that for now, it's only robbing you, my man.
Malaria is a thief. Don't let it rob you and your loved ones. Prevent it by sleeping under a mosquito net every night. For pregnant women, go for antenatal care and get your Fansida medicine to protect you and your unborn baby from malaria.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for keeping it with us. As we continue, a team of American volunteer doctors from Picture of Health Foundation Best in Georgia, Atlanta, have commended the volunteer roles played by Uganda Village Health Team, volunteers, that is VHTs, in delivering elementary healthcare services to the grassroots people. This was during their interaction with the VHTs from Muyenga, Bukasa Parish at Muyenga Parish Community Hall.
A 7-man volunteer medical doctors team from Picture of Health Foundation based in Georgia, Atlanta, USA, has hailed the complementary voluntary role played by Uganda's village health teams, VHT volunteers, and urged government to avail them more support. The team, led by Dr. Denovani Christine, was interacting with Bukasa Muyenga VHTs on the invitation of Uganda's ambassador to Washington, Robbie Kakonge, and Bukasa leaders led by Yasin Omar.
So we hosted them here in our area so that we establish contact, and they wanted also to learn more about VHTs. So that has been done.
But it is truly, the work you're doing is truly admirable, and I thank you guys for what you're doing for your country and your people.
During the 10-day stay in Uganda, the team conducted 4 free medical camps in Kalangala Island, where over 700 people benefited.
I say that out of the 700 people we treated, 740, we saw a lot of STDs. I saw herpes, lesions, skin infections, a whole host of, from mosquitoes and whatever insect bites. They have these scars all over their bodies from a lot of biting insects.
Professor Peter Waiswa from Makerere University School of Public Health urges government to expedite the proposed motivation of the village health volunteers.
Call upon government and partner to support so that these VHTs get paid. At least they get a massive salary.
The team donated an assortment of medical drugs to the VHTs and promised to join them in the community outreaches on their next visit to Uganda.
Now, Soroti resident City Commissioner Peter Pexpark has refuted allegations that 12 patients died last week at Soroti Regional Referral Hospital over lack of oxygen. Park warns opportunists against misleading the public in favor of cheap popularity and confirmed that only 9 people died at the facility due to various ailments.
The recent reports surrounding the alleged death of 12 patients at Soroti Regional Referral Hospital due to lack of oxygen have been dismissed by the Soroti Resident City Commissioner, Peter Pexpark.
2 of them died because of natural causes. 2 died because they had accident and there was multiple fractures all over the body. 1 person died for lack of blood, specifically group O. Then the other 2 were sicklers. Then there was 1 other person who died of, I think, diabetes. Then 1 person was elderly. So nobody died out of oxygen. Those who needed oxygen had oxygen.
Park says the fear and tension that compelled the opportunists to mislead the public with the wrong information resulted from the broken oxygen plant that was later on fixed.
As we speak now, that service, the machine, the oxygen plant has been serviced. That spare that had been blown by women has also been replaced. As we speak now, the plant is functional, 100% functionality.
It is alleged that poor servicing of the oxygen plant forced the area member of parliament to close the administration office, which was uncalled for.
He went ahead to have an exchange with this small officer, the young officer, the hospital administrator. And I think there is something that he said, then the hospital administrator said, no, you are not my employer. That prompted him to close the office. In my view, it was not necessary for my MP to close a public office. It was not necessary.
The Minister of State for Test Affairs, Dr. Kenneth Ongalo Obote, who was planning to carry an oversight visit to the hospital, was shocked by the closure of the hospital administration office.
When this issue of Soroti Hospital came up, I was following it in the media, and I was planning to give you a call and find out if we could go there and meet those people. Then all of a sudden I saw something in the media which made it look what I was going to do was done in Edinburgh.
He challenged both politicians and the hospital technical team to always resolve issues amicably without pulling strings.
Sometimes all it takes is for people to sit down and just talk, and you will get solutions. But when you embarrass people, you all have wives at home, children who look up to you. The whole world can disrespect you, but your children will take your advice.
Mr. Obote was addressing a delegation of local leaders in Teso sub-region who were meeting in Soroti City to benchmark on how to solve issues affecting service delivery in the region. Joseph Okow, UBC.
Now, refugees in BDBD have been urged to desist from dependency syndrome by indulging in livelihood projects like farming and other hands-on skills they acquired through trainings. The move is aimed at making the refugees self-reliant in the quest of prioritizing of food rations. This was during Community Dialogue on Food and Nutrition Initiative organized by Caritas Uganda.
Years of refuge in Yumbe, refugees in BDBD have of late been facing nutritional challenges due to food prioritization by the United Nations World Food Programme. As challenges intensify in the settlements, indulging in the livelihood activities for self-food production is the remaining solution to the feeding gaps. But many refugees have had a negative attitude towards engaging in livelihood activities due to dependency on the food relief from WFP. Hafizu Luambo, Assistant Settlement Commandant at BDBD Refugee Settlement, says refugees require mindset change to overcome the dependency syndrome.
The aspect of mindset change has been the biggest challenge, and that's one thing that has been making them lag behind. The dependency syndrome has been another one. People have been thinking because they are here, because they are refugees, they are entitled to free things, and which is not the case. This is foreign aid. When it comes, it is used, and if they feel it has created an impact, they move to another place where there is need. So I think there is a lot that needs to be done in terms of mindset change, so that these people can do more for themselves. But with the prioritization, most of them have woken up. People are now looking for guidance. Some of them have gone by themselves to the landlords.
In regard to the problem at hand, Caritas Uganda, in collaboration with the OPM through Humanitarian Integrated Food and Nutrition Program with the funding from the Caritas Norway, undertook community dialogues for refugees and host communities in Yumbe. The initiative is aimed at strengthening the capacity of refugees to be involved in farming activities.
We have deemed it necessary in order to encourage the refugees to produce food for themselves, but also for income. In the beginning, when we had just begun the interventions, refugees were so much looking towards the food ration, and it was not easy to convince them to come and produce for their households. But then as time went on, immediately after the cut, they realized there is need for self-production. So many are coming to us so that they can join the different programs in order to produce for themselves. We have called for this dialogue so that the communities themselves can identify the different issues or challenges, the problems that they are facing that are leading to failure in agriculture production.
However, the Office of the Prime Minister has embarked on exercise of engaging host communities to donate land to refugees to participate in farming to generate food for themselves for survival despite the communal land tenure system.
A lot of interventions have been put forward by different partners in terms of scaling, engaging on farm activities. So our current focus this year is to ensure that we secure more land, and this land here we wanted to get it so that we will give it to the refugees.
However, for the refugees that have managed to do farming in the communities they live in, stray animals have been a big challenge to the crops they grow.
This is a challenging issue since the arrival of refugees in 2016. You find people can cultivate, but a stray animal from the nationals may come and destroy the crops, so making the farmers to lose interest in cultivation.
Yumbe District Local Government through sub-county local government systems is implementing bylaws against stray animals where owners of stray animals are charged fines on every arrested animal.
This time around, when the animals are found destroying, they are being subcontracted to some of the communities, because as a district we intend to have local revenue from these animals because they're moving without a control. So the owners will come and get these animals from the sales or from the wards or in the parishes, so that they will be fined, and then after getting the animals with the heavy fine, definitely it will be a way of reducing, actually managing these animals at their own homes.
With the inception of prioritization policy of food support to refugees by the WFP, an exercise that started in July this year, refugees under Category 1 get 60%, those in Category 2 get 30%, while those in Category 3 do not get anything on accounts that they are considered self-reliant. Joseph Odama, UBC News.
Water, please. Can I pay with Momo?
No.
Ha. Hey, can I pay with Momo? Ha.
Here's our merchant
code. Oh, very good.
7 mega?
20. Can I pay with Momo?
Unfortunately, no.
Ha. Baby, let's go.
When paying with MTN Momo comes with more benefits for everyone, it just doesn't make sense not to have it.
Hello, I've come for rent.
Can I pay with Momo?
Yes, you can.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Juko.
Yo.
Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or gift.
Get freaky too. Dial *100*0# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100*0#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100*0# to get started.
Airtel. A reason to imagine.
Welcome back. Let's delve into the world of business as we start off with MasterCard Foundation. It has held the first graduation ceremony for its Young Impact Associates year program. Year program seeks to empower the young generation to play a critical role in the monitoring and evaluation process and ensure value for money for various projects. The program is an added advantage to the young people who grapple with the experience requirement when seeking for jobs.
The MasterCard Foundation, in partnership with the Impact Partner Organization led by Provide and Equip, have held the first graduation ceremony of the Young Impact Associates program. The cohort of 12 young people were trained using the YIA training curriculum, mentored and linked to professional management and evaluation practice platforms.
This youth-targeted monitoring, evaluation and learning professional development scheme seeks to put young people at the center of understanding and measuring impact and generate new knowledge and evidence to inform better decision-making and transformative development practice on the continent.
You die once, but you live every day. So friends, I'd like to challenge us that every single day you walk out, live life.
There are lots of IT tools and systems out there which are available, which can simplify and improve your work, which we now want to tap into a little bit more.
The event in Kampala provided the graduates with an opportunity to celebrate a milestone while at the same time interact with stakeholders in the management and evaluation space.
Yeah, as a young person, my voice, I believe, speaks into what the older generation would need. We need a blend of both the old people and the young people, and that's when the decisions that are made are, can I say, fitting into one another. Because if young people are not part of decision-making processes, you will see that the people who are older, they may not even consider what the younger ones are looking at.
Since it is a very dynamic, a very agile profession, so it needs the blood of a young person, a youth who can do innovative ways, who has the ability and capacity to learn new things very much faster than an old person.
Broadly, the MasterCard Foundation in Uganda targets to help 4.3 million people to access dignified and fulfilling work.
What we mean by dignified and fulfilling is that the work you're doing, you are a bit comfortable with the pay. You are happy with the pay, and also when your colleagues look at you, you feel respected. Okay, you feel it's something, you may be doing something that you feel, according to my qualification, this is not what I should be doing, but I'm doing it because I need it.
Around 60 young potential evaluators applied for the program and 12 were selected. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
Now, Kabira County Club in Bukoto has hosted the MTN ICT conference that mostly attracted the business community in the country. The one-day workshop mainly dwells on MTN's plan for creating new technologies to enable the business community flourish.
When MTN Uganda set foot in the country in 1998, it opened a new chapter that eased communication. Progression has since then been smooth with several innovations that have improved the service to benefit its more than 4 million Ugandan clients.
We have covered what was previously undercovered. We are almost 89% landmass coverage right now in Uganda, including the water body, and including the national park. And if you know Uganda, more than 12% of the land is water and national park and game park.
To make the services better, MTN has unveiled its groundbreaking Do Business Better with MTN ICT solutions.
It's not about cables, it's not only about towers. We have also invested a lot on a technological solution, on a digital platform. The previous speaker, Shika, our Chief Transformation and Strategy Officer from the group, has highlighted the key 5 platforms that we are focusing on. Also in MTN Uganda, we invested a lot on those platforms. We have launched what we call the MTN API with an aim to build the biggest API marketplace in Africa. We're investing a lot on IOBA as a platform, what we call the WeChat of Africa. We are building many and several technological solutions and vertical solutions that are allowing the business and the enterprise to flourish and to grow.
Whether you are a person sitting in an office from 9 to 3, or you work from home, or you're in the mobile, that technology will serve you. Your office is where you are, where you want to be. You don't need to be in the office to be productive.
This is a transformative initiative that marks a significant expansion from telecommunications to technology solutions and is set to reshape business operation and propel Ugandan enterprises into the modern digital age.
As a layman in this business, I would think about what this means for MTN, what this means for all other companies who are here, the entrepreneurs of the future.
MTN is also intent on not only providing connectivity, but also to empower businesses with technology and infrastructure needed to thrive and excel. This landmark occasion has been the highlight during the MTN ICT conference at Kabira Country Club in Bukoto.
And then as we look at the financial markets, we start off with the Forex, where the shilling opened the day with a 3,748.92 and 3,758.92 buying and selling respectively. But at the close of business, the shilling slightly depreciated to another trend of 3,749.25, 3,759.25 buying and selling respectively. And then on the Uganda Securities Exchange, the BOWS registered activity to a total turnover of 946 million shillings exchanging hands. Well, and into the world of sports, John Serunjoji, the headline boxer at the Sweet Science Season 1 boxing event, Friday trained a modest fund in Busafi Market ahead of his event fight against the Kenyan Denzel Onyango on September 30th, 2023. The fight will be staged at Club Obligato in Kampala.
Near a week left to the much-anticipated Sweet Science Season 1 boxing event, headline boxer Serunjoji and his colleagues wowed fans in Usafi Market as they trained amidst their cheers. The boxers affirmed their readiness for victory at the event as they rallied the fans to attend in huge numbers.
Nkoze training ekisirikale era opponent wange simanyi Mukisa Robert simanyi mufu ajenga alamye
kyanjawulo leero kyetugenda okukola ku GST kyeteeseteese yekeo ku fight eno obulumi mbuyiseemu ate abo abasajja sigwe gusoso okubalwana byonna mbikoze era nga ndi mukakafu nti fight eno tugenda giwangula ketonye kagwake kakibechi ndi musanifu nti n'abawagizi ba Usafi bonna oba abakozi ba Usafi basobodde otubeererawo era ne bagula tiketi mbungi ennaku z'omwezi nga 3 wali ku Club Obligato banaye tugenda kulwana sinze nze kagenda kulwana Aruna agenda kulwana Aruna Venom n'abalwanyi abalala bangi nnyo Kende Mexico mbasaba busaye mugule tiketi za $2,000 $5,000 n'emmeeza ya $5,000.
The fans are excited to support the boxing event.
Yensonga lwaki tuvuddeyo okugula tiketi zino zonna. Tuguze tiketi ezisukka $50,000. Lwansonga ntino ebikonde tubiwagira. Ebikonde bituli mu musaayi nti abaana babizanya baffe.
The Sweet Science Season 1 boxing event has attracted over 30 boxers in various weight divisions and will take place on 30th September 2023 at Club Obligato in Kampala. Grace Joyce Kemgisa, UBC News.
Well, thank you so much for choosing us. As we sign out, my name is Patricia Lokoma Mpango, and Mogalo Mohammed has proudly been with me on sign language. Right now, as we sign out, we'll leave you with the weather forecast. Stay tuned.
Staying with UBC, I'm Sharon Nakajiri once again with the weather update brought to you by Uganda National Meteorological Authority together with UBC. Continue keeping that umbrella handy and move with the home clothings because we are looking at the satellite image taken over Africa today. We still have the rain-bearing clouds over our country, Uganda. And tomorrow morning, we are forecasting light rains in our capital city, Kampala, Entebbe, and the surrounding areas along Lake Victoria, including Nakasongola, Masaka, and in Mubende. For the eastern parts of the country, we shall have thunder showers in Jinja, Tororo. As for Soroti, we are forecasting light rains. For the western stretch, apart from Masindi, where we shall have light rains, so Kasese and Kabale, we are forecasting sunny intervals. For the northern parts of the country, Arua, we shall have light rains elsewhere. That includes Gulu, Kitgum, and Kotido, we are forecasting sunny intervals. During the course of the afternoon, we shall have a pickup of thunder showers over most parts of the country. Temperatures rising up to 25 degrees Celsius in Kampala and 29 degrees Celsius in Nakasongola. For eastern parts of the country, Soroti, we are forecasting 29 degrees Celsius, while for Jinja and Tororo, we shall have temperatures rising up to 28 degrees Celsius. In Kasese, temperatures will go up to 30 degrees Celsius, Barara 28. As for Kabale Highlands, we are forecasting 23 degrees Celsius. In the north, we shall have temperatures going up to 30 degrees Celsius, apart from Arua, where we shall have temperatures going up to 29 degrees Celsius. For international weather forecast, we shall have bright and sunny conditions in Cairo at 36 degrees Celsius. Dubai, we are forecasting sunny intervals at 42, while for Nairobi, we are forecasting sunny intervals, temperatures rising up to 25 degrees Celsius. That is all I had for you for today. Till tomorrow, same time, have a good night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. It's Freaky Friday. Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or gift.
Get freaky too. Dial *100*0# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100*0#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100*0# to get started.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Yes, a very good evening to you tuned into UBC TV. We thank you so much for following all our programs and keeping it with us. I warmly welcome you to this week's edition of UBC One-on-One with Michael Jordan Lukomwa. Like I always say, we get those guests with whom we discuss pertinent issues for the good of yourself, your family, your community, and the beautiful Pearl of Africa, and generally the world at large. Now, economic growth is what we are looking at in all aspects, at all levels. But in one of those areas, in it generally, one of the aspects that many countries have used, even Uganda is using, is focusing on cooperating and cooperatives. But what are these cooperatives? We had them in Uganda, we have them. Did they die? Are they still alive? How vibrant are they? And how much can we contribute? How much can we benefit from them? Is what we want to look at this evening. Thank you so much for watching. Get that